I noticed the socks already. That's a big topic of discussion, isn't it?
These are tame socks. I was on my best behavior for all of you.
You know, Justin Trudeau, if one looks at the social media references to you, one would ask, why hasn't someone given him the cape already? I mean, you can work.
President Trump wants a deal out of NAFTA that's going to benefit workers in his country. That's something that we want too in Canada. And not just we don't want just to benefit workers in Canada, we also want it to be good for workers in the United States. We believe that trade deals can be win-wins, or in NAFTA's case, win-win-win with Mexico. It's not a zero-sum game. It just means, however, for us, ensuring that the trade deal that you sign is actually specifically focused on benefits for people who historically haven't benefited from trade deals. I mean,
most realize, how do you respond to that? Do you have more in common with Donald Trump than most people seem to realize?
That's actually something that I've been saying for an awfully long time. People look at me, a Canadian liberal with all sort of the openness and the values that I have, and they say, well, that's a big contrast with President Trump. And I actually have to point out to people that both President Trump and I got elected on a very similar approach.
A lot more in common between Justin Trudeau and Donald Trump. Is there commonality on your approach on NAFTA as well? Have you been able to find middle ground on that?
Again, yeah. And I spent many years, frankly, more countries need to do more about welcoming in immigrants and refugees particularly, not just, again, because it's the right thing to do, but because people who flee areas of war and persecution and just want a better future for their kids, inevitably work incredibly hard, are incredibly grateful to the country that welcomes them in, and end up contributing tremendously to the well-being of our society, of our country. That's been the Canadian story, and it's marginalization and discrimination. Therefore, they're fleeing persecution, war. I had attack ads run against me saying I had nothing but nice hair, that I was, too fashionable to be smart, or whatever it was. And there were articles of, oh, is this just an example of discrimination the same way women goes through it? Let me be very, very clear. No, it's not. Okay? Any comments about how a man looks is not even an eyelash worth of the kind of systemic discrimination that women face every single day in any workforce. If I can contribute to the conversation by being look at a room filled with brilliant students like all of you and say that you're the leaders of tomorrow. Every choice you make, every word you speak to a friend.